Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Yes, it's yours truly. This is Coach Drake, the Master Mindset Coach, and you are listening to Sound Mind Coaching. Sound Mind Coaching. Why Sound Mind? Let me tell you something. Your mind is beautiful. You have a beautiful mind, and it is terrible to waste. Don't waste yours. Don't waste your mind. Don't get stuck in patterns and ways that are not right. Let's have a healthy mindset. Let's have a healthy mindset, and that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help us. Me too. I'm here to help us operate and function in a healthy way, and a healthy way will produce a happier way of life. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. All right. So what we've been doing is we have been talking about how to relinquish unrealistic expectations. How to relinquish unrealistic expectations. And I hope you've been gaining something from this week. If this is your first time tuning in, let me know. Let me know. I want to hear from you. Let me know what place, where you at, what state. I don't need to know the city. Just let me know what state. It'll be all right. We're also viewing on multiple channels. Actually, I'm on my personal profile. Good morning, Coach A. Also, on my personal profile and on Sound Mind Coaching on Facebook, on Twitter, on Coach Fullwood, at Coach Fullwood, also on YouTube pages, as far as Sound Mind Coaching and on the A-Team. So just multi-streaming every day as much as we can to get the word out. Here to help you. Let's grow together. All right. That's what we want to do. So we're going to pick this up. This is going to be the conclusion today. As far as this, we're still going to talk about expectations tomorrow, but we're going to talk about how they can be detrimental in a marriage. How they can be detrimental in a marriage. But even some of the things that we talked about over going on day 3 is the same. I mean, all these things can be detrimental as well. Spelled coach wrong. How about that? There we go. Hey, Coach A. All right. So, yesterday, just a quick recap, not too much here. Yesterday, I think we picked up. Talked about how do you deal with unrealistic expectations, how to deal with them. So we gave some ways there. And then we talked about one technique called the double standard technique, meaning that whatever the expectation was and how would you treat yourself with it, think about how you would treat somebody else that came to you with that same scenario. Would you reply to them the same? Would you react the same way? Would you have the same thoughts? How would you reply to them? Because it's unfair. How you may respond back to somebody else with the same issue, does it balance out? Are you harder on yourself than you are on others? Or are you harder on other people than you are yourself? So that's the double standard technique. Then we talked about reflect on the effects of your expectations. Reflect on them. Sit back. Does the expectation help me be who I want to be? Does it help me go where I want to go? Is it in service with what I care about, such as a good relationship, safety, professional, or academic goals? Hey, good morning, Pastor T. So these are the things, expectations. We get disappointed. We're following people. We're following leaders, pastors, influencers, and all these things. And so if by chance they do something that doesn't agree with you, how does that affect you? How does that affect you? Did you put them up here? Did you put them in a place that in your psyche, they don't fail? Have you put people on a place with an expectation really that they're not human? Meaning that you don't expect them to have mistakes or flaws. And then when it happens, now you are disappointed, distraught, hurt. You don't know what you're going to do. all these other things. Did you have an unrealistic expectation? Because ministry is the main thing in my life. Have you found out something about somebody that disappointed you? Because I never expected they would do this. Never expected they would say this. So when you hear of such, where does that place you? Do we ever reflect back on why is this that I'm hearing so disappointing? How about this? How about the words, oh, I thought you were saved. Oh, I thought you was a Christian. Meaning that there's an expectation that other people have of us as a man or woman of God. There's an expectation what? That we don't sin, that we do everything right. You're right, Pastor T, you're right. We say that now, but when we hear information, that may shock us. And then we immediately say, well, I'm going to stop following them. I'm going to leave the ministry or whatever, because I just can't believe they did this. But we forget the statement. We forget the statement that they're not perfect. And we can say, I'm a flawed vessel. We can say, I make mistakes too and everything else. But do we keep that same mindset with other people? And why is it okay for you to have flaws and fall short and miss the mark here and there, but the ones you look up to, they got to be perfect? Is that not an unrealistic expectation? I believe there's automatically an expectation that if you're following someone, you're listening to someone, they're pouring into your life. I believe that there is a unconscious expectation that they've overcome a whole lot of things, endured a whole lot of things, that they're not going to do anything, quote unquote, outrageous. Let me say that. Outrageous. For me not to follow them. I'll put it that way. Yes, you're right. Some do. Some do. They look at them. Matter of fact, they don't put them as a pedal. They put them as a pedestal. They put them as God. Put them as God. And it's also amazing how we don't treat all leaders the same. We don't. All of us local leaders, if we fall, we make a mistake, whatever, we blasted their name, we discredited them, everything else. But if it's somebody major, a Jamal Bryant, a Bishop T.D. Jakes, Bishop Noel Jones, Joyce Meyer, anybody else, because we're so engulfed in them, we give passes. A Mike Todd, all these other people that's out there. But all to the local leaders, tie them to the stake and set them ablaze. Yeah, it's amazing. It is amazing. So let's practice compassion. Number three. Number three today is practice compassion. Do we have compassion? Do you have compassion over yourself when you found out that you missed the mark, when you found out that you haven't been able to meet this particular expectation you have? Are you able to loosen the holes of your belief system to give yourself some grace? When you're asking yourself to give something up or to loosen your hold on unhealthy beliefs, it's helpful to have a replacement. Let's go back to the drawing. Let's have a replacement. Okay, what does that mean? Have compassion with others and yourself. In other words, let's have some patience, some openness, some gentleness. Think about when your child was hurt. Do you not have compassion? If something's wrong with your child, whether they're young children or old, they're still your children. There's still a level of compassion when they get hurt. Right? Do you have that for yourself? Watch this example that if your spouse disappoints you, acknowledge your disappointment. Acknowledge your disappointment and sadness if there's some sadness. Acknowledge your disappointment. Now, I know many of us may not do this. Including me not. Why? Maybe because we haven't been taught. We haven't been taught how to properly do things. Haven't been taught how to have proper communication skills. Haven't been taught how to address things that bother us. A lot of the ways that we've grown to communicate is by our environment, what we've seen, what we've been through has formulated how we communicate, how we were raised, whether right, wrong, or indifferent. All these things affect how we communicate based on who we are and what we've become. But that can also change as we grow, as we mature, as we stay teachable, applicable. You can communicate that your feelings were hurt if it's something that needs to be addressed. If it's something that needs to be addressed, if it's something that is bothering you to a point where it's just really troubling you, then, honey, I need to talk. It's all about our tone. If your tone's not in that place to be received, because let's be real about this. If somebody come at you and the tone is not right, you gonna have a tone too. You gonna have an attitude. Your defense mechanisms are going to go up based on approach. What happens when you perceive somebody's voice gets loud? Your voice automatically going to get loud right back. It's a silent phrase. Who you talking to like that? We don't think about it. It's automatic. There are times we may catch ourselves and we may like, why are you yelling? I'm not yelling. Why are you raising your voice? I'm not raising my voice. Yes, you are. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. No, I'm not. Because when we're heated about something, when we're vigilant about something that's happened to us, we don't recognize the tone that we're in. And we don't want to believe that what the person is saying to us is a reflection of how we're responding. Well, I know when I'm raising my voice. I know when I'm talking loud. I'm not talking. Okay. They start talking fast. Their body position is in an aggressive tone. Okay. So if you've been disappointed, then we have to acknowledge that we were disappointed. You disappointed me. But let me say something about that. Before you go to them and say that you're disappointed, reflect on why you feel they disappointed you. Was there has to be an expectation that was placed on them, and we have expectations that are unconsciously. We have expectations on people. We do. We have silent expectations. And these silent expectations can be due to a person's age, because a lot of times with a person's age, there is an expectation. When you're older, there's an expectation. You don't act like a child. You don't do things as a child would do. That's an expectation. Expectation when you're grown up, you done put away childish things. It's an expectation. But what might be childish to us the other person may not see that it's childish, or they may have some type of hiccup, some type of proclivity that you don't deal with or doesn't even affect you. So a lot of times we assume a person is going to be like this, characterize themselves like this, and betray themselves as whatever. So before I can say you disappointed me, what was my expectation that caused me to be disappointed in you? Because maybe the disappointment came because I set an expectation too high, based off of a thought, based off of an assumption, and not knowing who you are. Come on through here. How many times we say, "Oh, I thought I knew them." Okay, but where's the compassion to let you know that they can make mistakes too? Where's the compassion? And the disappointment can be real. It could be a real place of disappointment. Everything is not an unrealistic expectation. What if the disappointment is a legit disappointment? You said you love me. Why did you do this to me? I trusted you when you said you would never do anything to hurt me. Because I trusted your words. I believed in your words. So my expectation was based off of what you told me. But even with that, ladies and gentlemen, what's up, Jerome? Man, we got to get together, man. We got to get together. We keep saying it, man. We're getting older. We got to do it. We got to do it. Okay, I'm off work all summer. All summer, let's do this. So in this thing, even though we're based their words, so our expectation is based on their words, but do we even have grace, compassion, that even if they miss the mark of honoring their word, can we be all right? Can we be all right? Not to say it doesn't hurt, because it's what you said. You promised. Yes, I did. I did promise. And I messed up. So I failed you, dropped you, disappointed you. Yes, I've done all those things. And that's not responding back in a form of arrogance or anything else. It's just acknowledging the truth that the expectations that that you perceive to be truth because I told you these things fell short. Oh, you're right. You're right, Rome. Love hurts. Oh yeah, it hurts. Yes, sir. So in telling yourself, look at this example. You have a presentation, right? You going before your job, your colleagues, your peers. And then you're like, man, I can't believe I screwed up my presentation. So you can acknowledge your feelings and get curious about what didn't work. What did work and how you'll improve the next time. That's how we should handle things. You can have a presentation. I remember doing a workshop. Man, I toiled over this PowerPoint presentation. Then when it came time to deliver it, I said, man, I forgot this. Man, I messed up here. And a lot of times nobody knows it but you. But then there comes that, let me say for me, there's that little form of embarrassment because, man, I thought this thing was perfect. But I didn't beat myself up over it. Sometimes you can acknowledge a mistake and just keep on moving. So how do you handle unrealistic expectations? Have you ever said, man, if I'd only known? Why didn't I see this in the beginning? And this is what happens, and this is what I'm hearing. We take things for granted. We take people for granted. What if we just put too much trust in people? Because we can put so much trust in a person that when they do mess up, when they do miss that mark, we're devastated. We are devastated. We see that in the church. Oh, pastor did such and such, and half the congregation gone. we got a whole church split because the pastor messed up. But did the pastor leave you when you acknowledge your mistakes? And he's helping you to restore, reset, and put you back in place. See, it's okay for the pastor to get dirty with your mess. But we forget that pastors are sheep too. And we don't have compassion for leaders. Oh, that's good. That's good, Rome. We have to forgive ourselves for not knowing. We have to. That's so good right there. We have to. Would it be safe to say, and I'm going to use this phrase, because we're human, I'm going to go back to what Pastor T said, that none of us are perfect. So since none of us are perfect, there's always the possibility of being disappointed by the people we love, people we care about. My brother Jerome and I, we go back, oh my God, 2008, 2007. We can talk, we can share, we can do the man talk, everything else. We can say, man, when you did this, man, you disappointed me or whatever. We can talk about it, shoot the breeze, 2007, we can do all that. But we don't disconnect from one another. May not talk all the time, every month, once a week, all that other stuff. But we still excited when we see each other, still excited to see him pop up, still excited, still trying to get together, go to breakfast or lunch or something. But when you're, I don't like using this word, but when you're real with one another, when you're vulnerable just to be you, okay? Yeah, I'm going to make some mistakes. Yeah, I'm going to fall short. Yes, I'm going to do other things. Not to say that those things are intentional, but don't put me on a pedestal. No. Because we all have our own inner work that we fight with. We all have our own inner self that we fight with. And sometimes what goes on the inside of us, sometimes it may win. So what is one way to cultivate compassion? And the one way to do it is by practicing. Practice having compassion for yourself. Like my brother, practice forgiving yourself for not knowing. Whether you enter relationships, not just like marriage relationships, romantic relationships, but just relationships, and then you find out some things down the road, because everything does not present its fullness up front. We know that through dating, courting, whatever, getting to know people. I mean, someone, this ain't gonna be good or whatever, or this is just an occasion. This is just, we see each other at work and we talk, we chit chat and everything else, and we just go our separate ways at the end. There's no hard feelings, nothing. It's just our life. So, human error, as my wife, Coach A, says. Human error, an action that was not intended. Okay? I know where she got that from. But a human error. So can we give one another compassion for an action that wasn't intended? That's good right there. Yes, sir. That's how he prepared us. Come on and preach, bro. Yes. So can we practice having compassion every day? Because some of these human errors may not be in a physical state where they can be known. A lot of them are mental. Mental errors that nobody knows but God. So when we're practicing compassion for a while, check in with yourself and think about, how is it going? How is it going practicing having compassion for yourself, having compassion for other people? And then what have you learned from it? What are you learning from it? And how is your outlook? How has your outlook changed since you began practicing having compassion? Instead of being disappointed with these possible unrealistic expectations. But since this is the main topic of how to relinquish unrealistic expectations, where can I put compassion in place of my disappointment? Hey, daughter, What's up? What's up? Disappointed. As a parent, ask your children, have they been disappointed in you? Is it possible that our children had unrealistic expectations on us? Is it possible that our parents had unrealistic expectations on us? See, it goes all across the spectrum. It does. All across the spectrum it goes. So let's go on to number 4. And then we're going to do a recap and I'm done. And this fits in, right? All this flows together. So if you miss Monday and Tuesday, I need you to go back and catch the replay. Number 4, allow flexibility. Allow flexibility. In this, ladies and gentlemen, let me explain to you. All this is if you apply what's been coached over the past couple of days, all this is part of renewing your mind, retraining your mindset. Because a lot of ways that we respond back and how we absorb from results of other people is not healthy. It's not factual. So in having a sound mind, a lot of things we have to retrain. No matter how old we are, you can retrain your mind to think more healthier. We want to have a healthy mindset. So number 4, allow ourselves to be flexible. Being flexible starts with us being sensitive to changing circumstances. Being flexible is being more sensitive to changing circumstances. Being sensitive. Even when it hurts, can you be flexible? As the circumstances around you change. For instance, instead of telling your husband, you said you clean the kitchen, we had a deal. You might say, it looks like you didn't get to cleaning the kitchen. Could you work on it? Do you need my help? That sounds so nice and so proper, don't it? But you said. So what do? We take our person's words for truth, right? You said you're going to do it. So the expectation is the kitchen's going to be clean. But watch the tone. We had a deal. So it sounds like the spouse was upset, disappointed, right? But to have some flexibility in that scene, then you can just say, especially if it's bothering you. Okay, you're disappointed. The spouse gets up, she realizes the husband didn't clean the dishes or whatever in the kitchen like he said. So she comes back this way instead. It looks like you didn't get a chance to clean the kitchen. Could you work on it? Need any help? Do you need my help? Just the calmness in that. The tone of that would probably have oh no, I got it. Sorry about not doing it when I said I was going to do it. And then they'll probably just get up and do it. Bees are drawing the honey, right? So our communication and our needs and allowing him to listen and choose to respond to them is that works, huh, Jerome? So there's a saying that women know how to talk to a man to get them to do what they want them to do. And being a man, I can probably say yes to a lot of that. And vice versa. So we have to allow flexibility. Okay? Got to allow flexibility. This will avoid not only disappointment, but frustration, irritation, and anything else with an Asian. It will. So let's recap. Let's recap so I can get out of here. So realistic expectations could be more helpful, even though it's hard, right? But we can find many benefits through working on relinquishing them. It is important. Let's go back to the drawing board. Why did I have this high expectation on myself? Could it be from a place because I'm driven to do better than what my family has done? I'm striving to be better. I want to achieve and I'm ready to put my all in it. So I'm setting these expectations. But I'm not doing so good here. So we have to be able to be flexible with ourselves, re-examine the expectation, and bring it down to something realistic. I said the bar in this too high. In the same way for other people. You may want to ask yourself, how did I assume this expectation for this individual? Remember that you can create new rules and beliefs that inspire, support, and serve you and your relationships. You can create new rules. Some of us can be very stubborn. In our mindset, we can be very stubborn. The one thing I'm finding out by studying psychology, it rubs off when I'm interacting with people. Oh yeah, I just read about that behavior. Even with myself. So I can't come off putting people on the couch all the time. I have to be careful. So many of the concepts and methods that I discussed is really based on cognitive behavior. Yeah, you do the same thing, daughter. It's really based on cognitive behavior therapy techniques, and that's where I am certified in. Cognitive behavior. Why do we think the way we think, process the stuff the way we process? Right, be one to diagnose myself and other people, exactly. All that. So when you hear about CBT, that's the abbreviation for cognitive behavior therapy, being able to give techniques. I'm not a clinical cognitive behavior, but I know how to offer cognitive behavior techniques to help us reprocess how we think and why we think the way we think and get our minds get it on the proper track that is healthy, and that's what it is. Loving so interested in why people think the way they think. I find it so fascinating in this stage of life that I'm in. And that started with me. It started with me. And I had therapy. One thing about going to a therapist, they have a way of having you talk out your own scenarios, especially if they're a good listener. They know how to poise the right questions. And if you're constantly asking questions, that individual has to answer those questions. And after a while, you keep asking the right questions for them to think about and ponder over. They will come to the conclusion of a matter. So that's it for today. So tomorrow, watch this room. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about 3 unrealistic and detrimental expectations about marriage. Right. Jesus and a therapist. And therapists are people who are experts in studying behavior. All types of different behavior. There's all types of psychologists. There's a range of different forms of psychology. So, right. Oh my God. 3 unrealistic and detrimental expectations about marriage. I'm going to hit you with that thing tomorrow. Tomorrow may be a little longer, but we're going to do this tomorrow. We're going to do this. 3 unrealistic and detrimental expectations about marriage. Singles, you may want to listen to this. And a good life coach. Yeah. A good life coach will lead you to something if they know that you need to go see someone who's clinical, the clinical people can offer you medication to help you because your neurons, something is off in your brain. Okay. Yep, you can create new rules, Pastor Lisa. Yes. You know this is not a surprise, Toshe. People have unrealistic expectations in marriage. Yes. Oh, yes. So that's going to be fun tomorrow. It's going to be fun. Fun. But how to relinquish unrealistic expectations. And really it comes down to forgiving. We have to forgive. But we also have to search within, why am I so disappointed? Because you know what, especially with our children, we want them to do, hopefully if you're a good parent, you want them to achieve and do more than what we've done. Right? And so in our efforts of preparing them for the best of that, they fall short. We're disappointed, we're angry. And then you know what happens? We end up and mistreat them based on an unrealistic expectation that they may not have been able to meet. What did I do? Oops. Okay. So that's what happens. I don't know why my camera changed, but maybe a little darker here. So yeah, that's what we're gonna talk about. Sometimes we got forgive them and forgive yourself. That's it. Sometimes we got upset at the fact they didn't meet the expectations and not the person. Yeah, that is true. Because when we find out things about an individual that is disappointing to us, those disappointments may come from a place of assumption. Well, I assume that they were like this. I assume they had it together. I assume they were better in this area. I assume this. And we don't, at the time, may think that it's an assumption. But in reality, it is. So now we're disappointed. And let me, now we're disappointed. And other, wow. There are unrealistic expectations that can happen based on past relationships. Because in that disappointment, we can reflect back on past relationships, and now we're comparing. Oh, yeah, that good old word triggered. That's true. It can come from a place. Coach A she was preaching coaching yesterday. And I know, especially today, we talk about trauma a lot. We talk about being triggered. So that is a possibility. It's a very well, it's a fact that it could come from a place of a past and things like that. Very well could be. So your radar is going off. Warning, warning, warning. Flashback, flashback, flashback. Uh-oh. Now your eyes are wide open like an emoji, them big old eyes. I've been through this before. I sense it. But let's be careful not to put them in the same category of what you've been through. Don't associate your current with your past because they're not the same people. Unless you're drawn to the same personalities, traits, and things of that nature. What you got wrong? That's why God is needed in our relationships and marriage together in everything. You can't compare from the past. Amen. We shouldn't. We shouldn't compare. Because you're not with that person from the past. So evidently there was disappointment, there was hurt. You're not together. So if you're going to compare and then measure them on that same scale, now your current situation is full of disappointment, just like the last one. What we got from Coach A. True. And sometimes we take people at their word without observation, and the expectations are real. They choose not to fulfill or cannot fulfill. Facts. Facts. And I like how you said we take people at their word without observation. Woo. That part. Without observation. Without getting to know them. Yep, set boundaries. I say that all the time, Jerome. We got to set boundaries. What about raising our children, trying to correct our past and not their present? Look at this. Yes, see, that's Toshe. That's a twofold work right there. So if I'm hearing this right, so I'm working on me, but yet still trying to correct my children. So I'm trying to work through my stuff from my past, and yet still trying to correct my children. Let me see, go through some of these here. What we got? That's why our statements can be, I am not them. That's right. I am not them. And let's have this understanding that we can always find similar traits in people. That's just life. It's just life. Now, if there's a cycle of dating or courting or marrying the same type of people and they just got different names, then you have to look within yourself. Why am I drawn to these characteristics or these type of people? Why am I drawn to them? So, and we do, it's unfortunate parents try to live through their children. Because here's the thing, parents still have a life. They still have a life to live. What did you say wrong? Yes, why? Why am I drawn to these same type of characteristics in people? Let me see what Coach A say here. Let's see. We can only give them directions, but we must remember that they have a path that's also been given to them by God. That's right. That's right. I used to tell my children and my stepchildren, when you walk out that door, I've taught you right and wrong. So whatever decision you make outside of this door, there's consequences, good and bad. But that choice is you. And I told them, if you get in trouble, I'd rather you get in trouble being a leader than being a follower. If you did something, you got in some trouble because you was following one of your friends, then yeah, we got some issues. We got issues. Don't be a groupie. Don't be a groupie. And that's it, Jerome. We're having time to take time to reflect. And that was the one we talked about yesterday. Take time to reflect. Take time to reflect. Let me tell you something, Toshe. It's a dark, some of y'all in the South say soda. It's a dark pop, but in the taste, they're totally different. And I'm a Coke man better than I am a Pepsi. He was at the restaurant. We always at the restaurant, unfortunately. But I was at the restaurant the other day. They didn't have, all we have is Pepsi products. All right, I'll take a Pepsi. My preference is a Coke, but I'll take a Pepsi. And matter of fact, it was Applebee's. And that was the best Pepsi I think I've ever had. I don't know what they did, but it was good. It was good. Right. It's better. So what we got here? What we got, Coach A? That's why we often misquote or take the scripture out of content when it says train up a child. Yeah. Train up a child in the way they should go, according to the Bible, not really according to us. But we should be training them up according to the word of God. Okay. How many of you have found out that some of the things that your parents or grandparents told you was not exactly true? It may have worked for them, but in all reality, It was a little off there. But man, we did receive such sound wisdom from my grandparents back in the day. And I think for myself, sometimes, you long to be in their presence again. You long to hear their voice again. Because they were such a sounding board. So yeah, that's what I have. Good conversation, good feedback, everybody. I'll be back 7 a.m. 7 a.m. Monday through Friday. I am here. Sound Mind Coaching. A beautiful mind is terrible to waste. Don't waste yours. Let's retrain our minds so we can be healthier people. Okay? So that we can be healthier people. That's my goal. The Bible says God did not give us a spirit of fear, but a power, love, and a sound mind. A sound mind. So let's work on having our mind more sound. All right. And then Coach A is coming on at 12 noon today. 12 noon today. And matter of fact, she is going to be on many platforms today as I set her up, as I am on multiple platforms right now. I'm on Twitter right now. I'm on YouTube right now, and multiple Facebook pages. And she's going to be doing the same thing this afternoon. Check her out. Check her out. We love helping people. We have a different approach, but we still have the same goal. And so, yeah. So that's why basically means give them the word, wisdom, and direction and guidance. They will wander off, but it's in them to come back and apply the teaching. That's right. That's right. I don't know what our kids are getting today, unfortunately. That's why we have to be surrogate when what? Let me share this. Let me say this before I lose my thought. When people are drawn to you, don't dismiss them. And when I mean drawn to you because they feel a connection with you. There's something in you they need. And more, and what I mean is more in a parental, mom, dad, big brother, uncle. Some people may call you uncle. I got one young lady. She's my children's age, but we went to church together. So she's like, "You like my uncle," so she called me uncle. And then they call when they're looking for guidance and direction and all these. Let's not dismiss them. Count it as an honor. Count it with humility. And here's the thing, it's not by mistake. It is not by mistake. It's all divine by the Father. So I have 4 natural born children. Got married to Coach A, my wife Angela, 2 more sons, 5 more grandchildren. And then multiple spiritual sons and daughters. Call me dad, pops, whatever. One in Alabama that's something else, but kind of an honor when they're drawn to you. When little kids are drawn to you, high schoolers are drawn to you because there's something in you they need. There's something in you that they don't have. Do you not know that a lot of kids are sad when school is dismissed for the summer? One reason is because the school is their safe place. Their school, they know what? They get their little breakfast in the morning. Because sometimes when they misbehave and I get them first thing in the morning, they like, "Mr. Fullwood, I ain't getting my breakfast." That could be the only, we don't know, especially in Mount Clemens, 90% of the kids are in poverty. So they look forward to that little breakfast. They look forward to lunch. They look forward to their afternoon snack. A lot of them kids do not want to go home. A lot of those kids misbehave in the classroom so they can come spend time with me or Mr. Fringer or some of the other colleagues that work. So we have to have that compassion for them. Embrace. You're going to find yourself spending your own money on them because they want snacks. "Mr. Fuller, can you bring me some Takis?" I'm like, "Them things $5 a bag." Got me some Ziploc bags. Start breaking that stuff off. "Mr. Fuller, can I come in your room today?" They're not even in trouble. They just want to be there. I said, "Bring some schoolwork. Come on." They just want to be around you. It's safe. And you know what? They know that you care. All right. Being misunderstood is Coach A's topic today. She was on the road yesterday. She don't even know. I haven't even shared with her what I saw yesterday. Maybe I will when I'm done. But yeah, God is opening up many doors for you here in Michigan. It's a new sound. It is a new sound. It's a new sound that hasn't been heard in this region. And so let's go to Toshe. What Toshe have? That's marriage. Different approach, same goal. Yes. Different approach, same goal. What have we learned in our past relationships not to bring in your current or your next? What have we learned? Thank you, my brother. Thank you, Rome. Appreciate you, man. That's my big brother. I love him. Love him. All right, what else we got here? They know that you care because you stay consistent and they are looking for structure. That's it. These kids want structure. Hear me. They want structure. They want structure. And my prayer is that I can get them to church. That's one thing about this particular community, is to be able to get them to church. Then we can pour more into them. And then they be like, Mom, I want to go to church. I want to go see Mr. Forward, Pastor Forward. I want to go see Pastor Angela. And then we're able to train them up in the way they should go. I hope to be here when they're graduating from high school and all the other stuff. But if I'm not, I want to know that when they're in my presence, I've had an impact. Yeah, I did tell you what I saw. Yes, yeah, that's it. That's it. That's it, Ron. Kids pick up on your energy. They do. They know. Kids are their discernment is very good. And watch this. This is what I learned from my first couple of weeks going to the high school when I came back home, is that, they checking you out. They're watching your mannerisms, all this other stuff. But if you get the approval of the leaders of the pack, then everybody else falls in line. When those that are most influential, no matter what grade they're in, when they say you're okay, then all the other kids drop their guards. And now you be finding kids coming to you, you don't even know, like, did you go here? They start coming to you. They start coming to you. That's it right there. That's it. We get the kids, the parents to come, because they're going to be inquiring, what is it about these people that you keep talking about? Toshe, this is so good. That's so good. Some of them or us have never experienced safety, and we crave for it. We crave for it. A lot of kids don't want to go home. They do not want to go home because they don't experience what they experience at school, being around you, seeing you. Mr. Ford, you coming to the lunchroom? Man, that's crazy in the lunchroom. Mr. Ford, can I sit by you when you come to lunch? You don't know. Yeah, they listen to the leaders of the pack. They do. So when they can discern that you're good and you're caring, it travels. So that even if they hear you talking about someone, they're going to correct you. No, man, they good. They good people. Whatever terminology they use. And then you start seeing them. And with today's kids, especially in a poverty-stricken community, you have food, you got them. You got snacks, you got them. Okay. And that's the one that definitely needs to be mentored to show them that there is a leader inside of them, even at a young age. Yeah, that's good. That's a good point right there. It's a good point. And you know what it does? It gives us the greatest opportunity to speak life into them. It gives us a great opportunity to speak life into them, to give them wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to help them, because we don't know if they're getting it anywhere else. So we have to be patient. We have to have compassion. We have to have empathy. For these kids, for our youth, for our grown adult young people. So if they attach themselves to you, don't miss that opportunity to pour into them. Don't miss that opportunity to take extra time. And I want to encourage you with this point here. Your natural children, you may or may not have the best relationships with them, like you would want them to be, like you have with your parents. And yet sometimes we'll beat ourselves up, or we'll question everything else. What did I do wrong? And you might not have done anything wrong. It just may be just their course of life, this, that, or whatever. But when other people are drawn to you, and other young people are drawn to you, and other people call you mom, and other people call you dad or pops or whatever, it's okay. It's okay. Because sometimes as an adult, as a parent, we may beat ourselves up and say, what did I do? What did I do wrong? And when opportunities come, sometimes you can ask your child that. Remember, go to them and talk. They may have an answer, may not. Sometimes as a parent, you think everything is good, and then you find out that they're upset with you. And here's the funny thing about kids. Your kids say they're grown, right? They're grown in the 30s. I got one in the 20s. And you didn't know. You had no clue. Oh, wow, didn't know that. So it comes down to communication, and it takes two. Here's my point. It takes two to gain an understanding. Thank you, Pastor T. It takes two to gain an understanding. And then two, our children may have surrogate parents as well, and that's fine. Because I have surrogate parents, spiritual mentors, whatever you want to call them. To me, you can never have enough moms. You can never have enough dads. Well, you have two. Well, no, you just can't. Because everybody has their place. So we all having different experiences of the same event. Mm-hmm. Yes. And we can bring those together. I know Coach, he goes by Coach Hayes, and the kids in the neighborhood, they meet every Thursday. And it's their place to release. It's a place to release. It's a safe place, and they know they can say it how they feel. So All right, y'all. That's it. It does. It takes two to get an understanding. It takes two. Even if you don't agree, but you have an understanding. You have an understanding of how the other person feels about a particular thing. So it's still an understanding. So coming together in agreement is gaining an understanding, even though you can still have two different viewpoints. Okay. So tune in. Tune in about less than 4 hours. Coach A will be on. She's going to talk about, what did she say she was about? Being misunderstood. I think that's what it was. Yeah, being misunderstood. That's her topic. So tune in. She's a fireball. So when she gets started, she's going to tell you when she switched to preaching mode. So do that tomorrow morning. Once again, 3 unrealistic detrimental expectations about marriage. And then I'm going to find something real good for Free Me Fridays. Free Me Fridays is just that, hey, woman of God, God bless you. Free Me Fridays is just that, to give you something uplifting that would illuminate your mind, so that you can go into the weekend feeling free, uplifted, all that other stuff. Free Me Fridays. All right. So thank you all. Thank you all. This has been good today. Thank you for all your feedback, your interaction. Please share. Please share this podcast. And please go to my YouTube channel and subscribe. All right. Sound Mind Coaching. Just put it in the search box. You're going to see my little man down here with the hourglass on his brain and the gears. And okay, that's Fullwood right there. So go ahead and subscribe. Hit the button so you get your notifications, and stay tuned. All right. Love you guys. Have a great day.